And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
It's actually an elaborate tunnel.
We want to thank you. Come in. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. I should. Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause. But like, check this out. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. And now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
But I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? You've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
For years, Usher stayed silent about what really happened inside Diddy's Flavor Camp. Now, he's finally revealing the truth about hidden tunnels, surveillance rooms, and a lifestyle no 14-year-old should have been exposed to. What was sold as mentorship turned into something far darker, and Usher says what he saw still haunts him today. When Usher was just 14 years old, he entered what many now refer to as Puffy's Flavor Camp. At the time, it was sold as mentorship, an opportunity to learn from the biggest name in music. But what he experienced there was nothing like the industry had promised.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called.
Went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Usher later described the environment as wild. That wasn't slang for fun. It was a quiet warning. He hinted that the lifestyle he was exposed to involved things no teenager should have seen. This wasn't about recording sessions and career advice. It was something else entirely. Years later, actor Jamie Foxx confirmed that the parties Diddy threw weren't just wild, they were predatory. Fox called them freak-offs. No phones, no rules, just manipulation dressed as luxury.
At that time, Puff was the biggest guy in the world. You know, you couldn't even get in his parties. So the way I would get in his parties, I show up with a camera. Like, yo, Puff, you need to document this shit. And he turned around, what's up, Playboy? I said, yeah, let me get that, man. Ain't nobody getting this.
But the real shock came when Usher revealed what was beneath the mansion. He claims Diddy's LA estate had a tunnel system, underground hallways with buzzing lights, no cell service, and hidden chambers. In one of those rooms, Usher says he saw red lighting, cameras, leather furniture, and disturbing props. Two masked women stood nearby. Diddy reportedly leaned in and whispered, "This is where I bring the ones I own."
I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Usher later found more rooms filled with chains, surveillance panels, drugs like MDMA and benzos, and what looked like a setup to film everything. He began to suspect these events weren't just parties. They were leverage factories. He even recalled watching a video of himself with Kevin Hart inside that very estate. There's a now viral moment where Diddy jokes about gay experiences with Usher. And after everything Usher has since said, the clip hits differently.
He was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother. We used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes.
And when the feds raided Diddy's mansion recently, they reportedly found a tunnel under the pool leading to a hidden grotto. Even Diddy's lawyer quit as soon as the search went public. This isn't just tabloid chaos, it's aligning with what whistleblowers have been warning about for years. Tania Wallace told TMZ she saw underage victims at a Diddy party back in 2018. And actress Davey Chase, then 13 years old, was allegedly invited to one of Diddy's private after-parties.
I was at I believe to be one of P. Diddy's freak-offs. Little people that's not supposed to be there.
You're talking about underage people.
It's a shame.
Even Allie Carter's story has resurfaced. She's one of the first people to speak out about being trafficked through celebrity tunnels, naming Diddy years ago.
underground tunnels that are under the schools, elementary, junior, and high schools all over the place. They exist everywhere.
What started as an industry mentorship now looks more like a setup, and Usher wasn't the only one who saw it. Now, Usher wasn't the only one who knew about the tunnels, because according to multiple sources, including Jaguar Wright, Diddy's property wasn't just wired internally, it was allegedly connected to other celebrity estates. Jaguar claimed there were secret passageways linking Diddy's mansion directly to the Playboy Mansion, where even more high-level freak-offs went down. These weren't casual parties, they were coordinated events involving high-profile guests, and according to reports, even minors.
Why ain't nobody talking about the fact that those Diddy tunnels go to Hugh Hefner house?
This might sound like tabloid chaos, but there's documentation to back it up. In the 1970s and 80s, news reports confirmed underground tunnels under the Playboy Mansion connecting to several neighboring homes. And years later, guess who bought property near there? Diddy.
This mansion allegedly has tunnels in the pool area. Now, we don't know for sure if that's real or fake, but what I did find interesting is that his house was only a minute away from the Playboy Mansion.
Some even believe that one tunnel connected Diddy's place to Michael Jackson's estate, and that it's the reason Jackson once scribbled terrifying notes like, "Help me," and "Don't look at me, look at the guy down the street." But this wasn't just a Diddy thing. Mark Zuckerberg was recently exposed for building tunnels under his Hawaii compound, not for wine cellars, for escape routes and surveillance protection.
I do have an underground tunnel.
Do you really?
Yeah.
In USA?
Well, I have this ranch in Kauai. Yeah, where there's this whole thing where people were like, there's this whole meme about how people are saying I built this like bunker underground. It's like more of underground storage type situation. But yeah, no, it's
Oh wow, Zucky got that bunky. How big is that tunnel? Is your tunnel pretty big, or what's it like?
It's not that big of a tunnel.
And then there's Diddy's mansion itself. One viral image from a property tour showed the pool area, directly above a tunnel entry point. Influencer Daniel Mack even claimed he found dozens of bottles of baby oil scattered around the property. He posted the footage until legal threats forced him to take it down. Then came the FBI raid. Not only did agents confirm the tunnel system was real, but rumors say they found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and potentially evidence linked to missing young victims. Some say it's too much to believe, but when so many independent accounts, from former guests to whistleblowers, are all describing the same things, it's not a coincidence anymore, it's a pattern. As news of Diddy's mansion tunnels exploded, a new theory started spreading online. And it's darker than anything we've covered so far. Some insiders now claim the California wildfires weren't natural at all, but a coordinated attempt to destroy tunnel systems connected to Diddy's estate. These fires didn't just hit brush and woods, they targeted high-end homes. Homes belonging to people allegedly on Diddy's freak-off guest list.
Lots about to come out, another arrest is coming. Again, watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. Explosions make accidental fires too. And then, oops, we don't know how that happened. And then you look into it and you see that it's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to trafficking. And then you realize, oh, it wasn't just an explosion or a fire. It wasn't an accident.
One of the first questions, I'll be honest, that I'm going to look at when I look at some of the communities involved is how many of the homeowners were on the P. Diddy list.
And the suspicion grew when Mel Gibson, who's known for calling out Hollywood corruption, openly questioned the timing of these fires. He lost his own home, but still raised the idea that these blazes could have been commissioned to cover up trafficking evidence.
Is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, you know? I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
But what really gave this theory weight was the name drop. Allie Carter, one of the earliest whistleblowers to speak about elite tunnels and trafficking, said she recognized faces underground. She specifically named John Travolta, Kathy Griffin, and even Robin Williams as being present in some of the locations she described.
There were many comedians, Kathy Griffin, Robin Williams.
And then came the political angle. Multiple tweets and Reddit threads now suggest that Diddy's connections to politicians may have helped him not only stay protected for years, but also influence how investigations were handled. From delayed warrants to vanished documents, there's growing suspicion that this goes way beyond celebrity circles. The FBI raid may have uncovered some of it, but if these tunnels were truly used for trafficking, then destroying them in a fire would be the fastest way to erase the evidence permanently. Now fans are wondering, is that why the fire spread so quickly? Is that why certain homes were hit and others left untouched? The fire may have ended the party, but not the investigation. Now, let's bring it back to where this started, with Usher. According to his former bodyguard, Diddy once spent time alone with Usher in a hotel suite, accompanied by a bag of sexual tools. The bodyguard alleges that Usher was groomed, drugged, and ultimately ended up in the hospital after that night. Not because of an accident, but because of what was done to him.
This rapper and him, they all in the room together. I know and people know that was around there in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I'll let Usher explain that to y'all.
Over the years, Usher's discomfort with Diddy has become more visible. In one interview, when asked about sending his own kids to flavor camp, he laughed nervously and said he never would. It was a clear break in the usual celebrity PR wall.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
But here's what stuns fans the most. Despite all of that, Usher still introduced Justin Bieber to Diddy. That connection is now raising major questions. Diddy reportedly spent 48 hours alone with Bieber early in his career. After that, Justin began acting distant in public appearances with Diddy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time.
Right here?
Yeah, this will be yours. So, it's a little dusty, but you know, we'll get the front shot of it.
Man.
That out. Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You can ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Now that I am.
That's the best picture. Yeah.
All right, 16.
Yeah, man. Slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours. Then you know, when you get 16, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
Remember?
In multiple clips, he's seen shifting away, avoiding eye contact, visibly uncomfortable, even as Diddy continues to touch his shoulder or stand too close.
What? Doesn't impress the objective to not only they feel it like kind and it's getting is better. It's the next to maybe that this thing coming up out of clubs and then sites. Largest give us a lot.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
The Lamborghini for a day or two, and he got access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
The grooming pattern is hard to ignore. First Usher, then Bieber. Both pulled into Diddy's circle at a young age. Both shown off as protégés. Both are now linked to a man whose homes, tunnels, and parties are being investigated by federal agencies. And now, both are rumored to be testifying in court. If Usher and Justin do take the stand, it won't just be another celebrity testimony. It could blow the lid off a system that's been hidden in plain sight for decades. Connecting fame, power, grooming, and underground networks most people couldn't imagine were real. So tell me, what do you think all about this? Do you think these tunnels will be discussed in this trial or not? I will see you in the next video.